Hi friends, in today's video I want to talk about healthy practice habits. Like healthy eating habits, but with practice. When I was little, my practice was a bit of a drudgery. I loved to play, I've always loved to play, but practice was so mechanical. Do this, do this, do this. I had these workbooks I was working through. It really developed my skills, but there was no delight in it. So if I pull one of those books off the shelf, and yes, I have them, and I'll use them for my saxophone, I don't open them and go, oh, this will be fun. Like when you're playing a new tune. So I want us to talk about what a healthy practice routine looks like. You need a measure of skill development. You need a measure of focusing on some challenging passages. You need a measure of just having delight in playing. And so here's what I do. And please let me know what you do. But here's what I do. So I start off with some scales. I'll just, get my fingers warmed up. And I'll go through a scale or two. And I'll do some jumps up a scale. And I'll do that for a while. These are things we've talked about in previous videos. I'll do like some speed drills. I'll work through that. And I might choose a passage from a tune that's supposed to be really fast. And I'll start it slow. Remember how we talked about that? And then I'll go a little faster. And I'll keep building the speed on the passage until I can't go any further. And then that's that for that day. And that's kind of a fun challenge. Make it a bit of a game. Where can I get to today? From there, I'll go back to the scales and I'll throw ornaments in. I might practice my cuts. My taps. I'll do some rolls maybe on my way down the scale. I'll do some slides up to notes. I'll try some vibrato. I'll work on all those skills. Start getting those skills secondhand. That kind of warms me up, and my fingers kind of know what they're doing by then. Then I grab a tune that I might be having a bit of an issue with. Notice I'm putting this in the middle of my practice. I don't start off with a trouble passage. I don't end with a trouble passage. So so in the middle of my practice, I'll throw in something a little difficult to work on. For example, I love the tune Drowsy Maggie, and we've talked about that. And it starts off. And I can play it faster than that, but not a lot faster. So I'll start off my practice. And I'll just keep playing that section. Maybe play 2 or 3 or 4 measures and try and get my speed, that speed build up. I'll work on a treble passage, or it might be some other treble passage. Or I might work on a whole song that's a bit of a problem for me. Now, I don't often listen to music while practicing. I do that outside of my practice. Like, for example, we were playing Inisheer together recently, and I listened to so many versions of Inisheer in preparation for that, just to see. And so in the next section of my practice, I'll take a tune like I've done the last number of days with Inisheer, and I'll think, okay, what does that look like as a waltzy tune? Because some people play it that way. Let me do that. Play the whole thing like a bit more of a dancey waltz. And then, okay, what's it look like just with this slow, emotive air? What ornaments am I going to use differently? What if I played it faster? I'll do that with a tune, just to really get the flavor of what you can do with different tunes. And then, so I'll try like variations on a theme to see what I can do with those tunes. And then I kind of maybe find some other tunes to play. and from the list of tunes we've talked about. Or I have even opened the session website and thought, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to try a jig today. And so I'll go to tunes, I'll select jig, D major, search, and I'll just look at them and think, which of these can I play? And I'll listen to it and I'll just try and play along with it. And I'll do that. And that's kind of fun. That's fun and skill development. Notice how we're not just playing tunes, we're working on skills, we're working on pieces of tunes, we're working on variations on tunes, and then I end my practice by just thinking, what are a couple songs that I just really think would be fun to play today? And I'll play those, and I'll just enjoy them and have a great time with that. And like I said, my practice doesn't look like this all the time, but it often does. My routine's very flexible. I'm all but every day I'm trying to work on at least a couple of skills, and I'm always every day trying to play for fun. And I think that'd be great for you too. Again, please tell me what your practice routine looks like. I want to consolidate stuff and share it with everybody else. Remember, we practice so that we can play better and have more fun playing. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy Lodi whistling, my friends.